Good day, everyone. Hi, this is Evan Stone. For those of you joining us on Facebook Live, we'll give you just a second if you want to let everyone know and that they can watch this. A lot of folks will be coming online, so we'll give you about 30 seconds here to let everybody know that we are live here at 299 and Highway 11. Been talking about this event, especially in the public, over the last week as we're getting ready to dedicate Highway 11 and 299 in the memory of our late Sheriff Philip Street. We thank everyone for coming out, being a part of this. If you're watching at home, we thank you very much. We're going to have a ceremony here. This will forever be an intersection. We'll have the signs up commemorating this on the north end of Dade County as from a memorial intersection for the late sheriff here that served us 20 years here in Dade County, and a lifelong member really of Dade County. So I'm going to introduce our state senator. He set all of this in motion after we lost Sheriff Street last year from COVID, and it's been a process. He maybe want to explain that a little bit, how he had to get it run through the state legislature. We've also got Mike Cameron that's going to be speaking. We've got several of the sheriffs that are currently still serving, that served alongside Sheriff Street. We've got Dade County Executive Ted Rumley. We've got our district attorney that's going to be talking, Chris Arndt. He's going to be coming up. And then we've also got Donna Street, who is a family member that's going to be talking here today. So you should have enough time now to invite everybody online as we stream this on the Dade County side at Facebook Live. We thank you very much. And now let me introduce to the podium our 53rd senator from our district here over North Georgia, Senator Jeff Mullis.
Thank you so much for that standing ovation. I'm grateful. Look, it's a beautiful day. There's not a better day we could do this to commemorate our good friend Philip Street. I have the honor of representing Dade County in Northwest Georgia at the state capitol, along with Representative Mike Cameron, and he and I talked about this honor when we heard the loss of our dear friend Philip Street. And we wanted to commemorate an area that was near and dear to him, the area in which he grew up or had some personal ties to. So that's how we come up with honoring Philip Street with memorializing this intersection on his behalf. So on behalf of Mike Cameron and myself, who passed this legislation for this very busy intersection, anyway, it is my honor. Philip and I, when I came in office, I believe he was sheriff, and I learned a lot from him in his how he handled people. You know, and sheriff in small rural areas and no other than these gentlemen, you have to be a little bit like Andy Griffin. Not a hard-nosed guy, but able to give people a chance when they need one. And Philip Street was that kind of a man and that kind of a sheriff. And we miss him today, and hopefully we'll remember him with memorializing this intersection on behalf of Sheriff Philip Street. Thank you. Whee. Thank you. You're in order.
Philip was my friend for 35 years, and he still is my friend in spirit. There's not many days goes by that, well, very seldom many days go by that I don't think about him, or someone in the office mentions Philip, or how would Philip do this, or what would Philip say about this, and those type of things. And he was a type of friend that you know, we could go a month or two without speaking, but then we could talk, and it would be just like we never left off. It was that type of friendship. I got to know him before Jordan was born, and the last time I spoke to him, or face to face, we had lunch on Sunday afternoon before he went to the ICU the following Sunday. So we had that type of friendship all through the years. And I had the honor of him working with me over the last 7 years of his life, and he contributed to Walker County just like he did to Dade County. He was the hands-on type of sheriff. When he first come into office, he was pretty much it. He had 2 or 3 employees, maybe not even that many. But he did a great job over 20 years. He brought this county from one point to the highest point within that 20 years. And we need to all remember the legacy that he left here, that Ray is building on now. But he did a great job in 20 years of serving this county. And it was a life of service. Many times he talked about serving and giving back to Dade County, and that's exactly what he did. It wasn't a job to him, it was an act of service. And if we can all remember that, and if we all can just do that in our daily lives as we serve the public, it'd be a great testament and honor to Philip. To his family, God bless all of you. I know every day's difficult. And to his friends, may, as long as we all live, may his memory never die. Thank you.
He's done this before.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Mike Cameron, state representative, and I represent this district. And it's good to be back really close to where I grew up, just up the highway. And I knew of Philip Street before I met him. I knew what kind of person he was. And when I met him, he was just an encouraging person to me. And when I decided to seek this office, he saw me one time at an event and pulled me aside and gave me some wise advice and was just so encouraging. He was a man that had a core set of beliefs, and that's who he was. And I see that in some of the people in the sheriff's department still, with our current sheriff over here. Those people that this is a calling. This is not an occupation. It's a calling. It's something you do because you love it and because you love the people. And he instilled that in me, and I know a lot of the other people. And I'm glad that we're coming here at this intersection to name this for him. And it's an honor to know him, not as much as Sheriff Wilson and some of the other people, but to know him and to be called his friend. So thank you to Sheriff Mullis. I'll make you a sheriff now. Senator Mullis, for initiating this and getting this going in the legislature. No one deserves this honor any more than he does. Thank you very much.
Well, I'm Chris Arm, a district attorney. I first met Philip when I first came up here in 1992, fresh out of law school. Thought I knew everything because I had that shiny law degree. Philip, along with then Sheriff in Walker County, Al Millard, quickly disabused me of those notions and let me know I still had quite a bit to learn. Philip kind of enjoyed giving attorneys a hard time and sometimes be a little gruff, but he always had his heart in the right place. He loved this county, loved serving this county and making sure that to provide public safety to this county. And I learned a lot of important lessons from Philip. One of those is always be ready. When he was working in the jail in Walker County, running the jail, and he'd bring folks up for court, he just would love needling attorneys that weren't ready. So whenever he'd bring someone up, it was like, bring them on up, Philip. Oh, you're going to sit there? No, I'm ready to go. And your inmate would be there like that. Remember the day I heard that Philip was in the hospital, and just assumed since Philip was always so much larger than life, he'd be out like that, and was just stunned with the news we had lost him. And thank you, Senator Mullis and Representative Cameron, for doing this so we can memorialize this, and every time we drive past that highway, we'll see that name and hopefully bring back a memory and a smile. And I know to his family, nothing can replace Philip, but we'll always remember him. Thank you.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, and family and friends. We appreciate you being here this morning. This is kind of bittersweet, but it's what an honor it is for Philip and his family. I'm glad that Senator Mullis and Mr. Cameron got together and dedicated this intersection to Philip, and what a great honor it is, and we appreciate it very much. Philip was a good friend of mine, and we spent a lot of time in the car together, going to different places. I remember going to the Boys Ranch down in Pine Valley at one time, and several other places, and went to the academy several times. And Philip was always, you know, he'd crack some jokes and have a good time on the way. And if you knew Philip, he's very outspoken, and Sheriff Burnett reminds me a lot of him, as outspoken as he is, so that's why I get along with him so good. But we all miss Philip, and we appreciate you being here, and like I say, what a great honor this is for Philip.
I'm Sheriff Bo Burnett, Marion County. I'm not moving to Dade County to run for sheriff, so don't worry about it. I feel like I'm a member of this community, and that's on account of Philip. When I went in 2002, I was new and green. You remember that, Sheriff? Oh, yeah. In first 6 months, you think, why did I run for this job? But I got to instantly be friends with Philip, and I called him, asked him for advice. We continued to be friends for years. This is a great honor. He was a great man, good friend, and I miss him, still think about him, but it's a great honor, and I'm glad to be here, and thank everybody in the family. He's a good man. I just wanted to know that. Thank you.
I'm Ted Rumley. I'm our county executive here in Dade County, and Philip and I, I've known him all my life, most all my life. We went to high school together. Philip was a year older than me in school, but we played football together all the way through. And you got to remember, Philip, you know, when he came in, Sheriff Wilson touched on this, but this county had one sheriff, and we were lucky to have, you know, a couple of deputies. You know, mainly it was a sheriff and one deputy. I think we were looking through his budget back then was, I don't know, $150,000, I think it was. We had a jail that was dilapidated. It had been condemned several times. And in the years he was in there, you got to look what he went through and what we accomplished, you know. He did build a jail. He actually built a group of men, and Evan Stone was one of his first people that worked for the sheriff's department there. So he kind of led us into the future from that era, you know, from the 70s, you might say. He was not only a good sheriff, he was a good person. He was a guy that he told you like it was. If you didn't want to know about it or you didn't know his opinion, you shouldn't ask him, because he was going to tell you just like it is, and y'all know that well as I do. But he's a personal friend, and it's just hard to believe that he's gone. I mean, even today, because we were talking, I don't know, 10 years ago, I don't know, and we were just in the office, and well, it was right before he actually had left the sheriff, you know, went to Walker County there, and he said, did you ever think when we were in 9th grade or 10th grade that we'd be sitting here, right here where we used to practice football in this building with the worries of the county and the sheriff's department on our shoulders? And I said, well, no, you know, we were just having fun back then. But Philip, he made such a difference in this county that a lot of people take for granted. You know, that's what Ray's working on, like he said a while ago. What he's got to work with right now, that jail and all, was actually started by Philip, you know. I mean, and it took his mindset to get it done, to make it happen. So, you know, I love him, love his family, and he's missed in every day of this county. We think of him. So I just appreciate everyone, you know, asking me and actually being here to speak. And Donna, you want to come on up? We've got Donna Street here. She's, of course, Philip, most all of you out there know Donna Street. If you don't, you're missing something, I'll tell you.
I'd like to thank everyone for being here today. See a lot of old friends in this group. Philip would be tickled to see every one of you. I would almost bet that you've talked to him on the telephone. If Philip called you on the phone every once in a while, give us a raise of a hand, because his 17-mile drive back and forth from Lafayette was used well. On behalf of my mother, my sister-in-law Sherry, my mother's Elizabeth, my niece Jordan, my sister Kate, my brother Tracy, and the rest of our relatives in this group, we would like to thank you for naming this intersection after Philip. Jordan and I have joked about the fact that we don't know how many roadblocks were done here, but this is one of the most appropriate places for Philip to have been named after Philip. And I would like to leave y'all, Josh, this is to you. When I got ready to retire, I got a copy of all my relatives' permanent records, even though it wasn't legal. On Philip's permanent record, a teacher would get shot for what they wrote on his permanent record. They wrote, Philip lives up to his potential, usually. And I think he's more than proved that he lived up to his potential. We thank you. We love Dade County. Philip loved you. And we appreciate you for coming today.
Hey, what are their names again?
Jordan Powell, and Sherry Street.
All right, thank you.
You want me to stay here with you?
Yeah, come on, why not? Hey, Mike. Hey, thank you again for coming today, and it is our honor to honor the family of Philip Street. Where are you, Anna?
I'm right here. I'm locking your wheelchair so it won't roll away.
Okay, I'm the one that will roll away. Who'd I call?
Sherry and Jordan.
Sherry and Jordan. There we go. Here you go. Okay. This is a copy of the sign for the Phillips family. Here you go.
Thank you. Uh-oh, I knocked off the microphone.
So here we go. We honor Phillips Street by making this the memorial intersection of Sheriff Phillips Street. Thank you, dear. Hey, also, I would like to thank Evan Stone for helping us put this together. Let's give a hand to Evan, please. You want to say something? You start crying, I'm going to cry.
Thank all of you for coming. My daddy would be so very proud of this. He worked hard for it. Thank you.
That was funny about the roadblocks.
Yeah. What's on the roadblock? They'd come out in bars.